Guys, today we're talking about whether a degree, any degree, is worth it. Guys, you don't want to miss this. Hey guys, it's Brian back at you with another video where my goal is to mentor you to a rewarding career and to help you create a life you're proud of. And in that endeavor, today we're going to talk about whether a college degree is worth it, whether that is just a bachelor's degree or a master's or a PhD or something else. But before I do, guys, if you have a question that you want me to answer, click the card above, go to my website, 101mentoring.com, send me your questions. I will answer your career questions, personal development questions, life questions. Now, this is a free service. You submit the questions, you provide the details, and I will answer them in a future video at my convenience. But if you want a response right away, there are services that I have. We can also do video mentoring sessions as well. Guys, go to my website, 101mentoring.com, to check it all out. So is a college degree, any degree, worth it? And for me, the answer is yes. And to come to that conclusion, really, it's about factoring the cost of living in this day and age. When you factor in your mortgage or rent, car, family, savings, vacation, standard of living, you're going to need money for all that. And when you factor in how much it costs to rent in a particular city, how much a car is going to cost you, you can really calculate what it's going to take for you to have a nice lifestyle. Now, there's also reports about what that dollar amount is in order for you to be happy in life. And I think that number is around the $70,000 range. And I think some people can live on less. Some people can need to live on more money. Now, I think for the average person, $70,000 is a pretty good number to target. So let's just use that number as an example. If you need $70,000 a year to have a good, comfortable lifestyle where you can also save for retirement, well, you have to think, okay, what are the jobs out there that pay around that range, plus or minus 10 grand, right? So if you're looking at $60,000 a year or $80,000 a year, what do you need education-wise? And the conclusion is you're going to need a degree. For the vast majority of us, having a college degree is the proper route to give you that earning potential that you need to get that type of money. Not everyone needs to do that. You can survive, you can have a good job or a good business and make good money without a college degree, yes. But I think for the vast majority of us, considering how people normally grow up, standard typical situation of us in this North American society, I think a college degree is the way to go. But that's for a standard bachelor's degree, standard college degree. If you want to go beyond that, whether that's a master's, a PhD, or something else, you have to factor in the value you're going to get from that degree, but also the costs and time it's going to absorb from you. You'll need to know the career you're going into, what the earning potential is of that career, and the likelihood of you getting that job. So let's just say, for example, that you want to get into social services and you've done some research and found that your earning potential for the job that you're looking for is around $30,000 a year. Well, if it's going to give you $30,000 a year, is it really worth it for you to invest 60 grand into your education? Is it really worth going to get a master's or a PhD or even a degree? Do you even need one? Because when you think about it, there are other jobs that will earn you the same amount of money, but requires less investment on your part. So you have to factor that in. And the same approach has to be considered when you're thinking about whether or not you want to do a student loan. If you are going to get $30,000 a year in this job that you really, really want, why would you put so much time, effort into school and rack up a student loan of $100,000, $80,000, $60,000, or way more? It just doesn't make sense. Sure, it makes sense if you want to become a doctor, you've been accepted into med school. Yes, you want to get student loans to pay for that. You'll come out with student loans in the six-figure range, but at least you're also making six figures. So they kind of balance out after a few years. The first couple of years is going to be really tight. You're paying off your student loans. You're saving a whole bunch of money, pouring everything into your student loans, but eventually you'll get out of that and then you can actually start building your wealth. If you have $100,000 $100,000 in student loans and you're not a doctor and you're making $30,000 a year, that's just going to take you so much longer to pay off. You're going to get so behind in terms of building wealth. You can't afford a house, you can't buy a house, you can't buy investments, you can't save up. It's very stressful. It's going to be very difficult for you, and that's the last thing I want for you to be in. So if you're not going to be a doctor or an engineer or a pharmacist or some other career where you're going to be guaranteed to make a lot of money, is it really going to make sense for you to go back to school and get your master's degree in psychology or in science or something else, when really your earning potential or your career options at the end of the day aren't going to pay you that much? It's not really going to help you recoup the costs and the expense and the investments that you had to give up as a result of staying in school for so much longer. So is a college degree worth it? For me, the answer is very clear. It is a yes, especially when it comes to a bachelor's degree. But anything beyond that, a master's, a PhD, or anything which requires further investment in costs, investment in time, you can't use that time gaining experience, but instead staying in school. And you're pouring all this money into school. I hope you are considering what your earning potential is after you get that degree, what kind of job you think you're going to get, and the likelihood of you getting that job. And you have to factor all of that in before you make that decision. And to me, I don't think it's really worth it unless you've done your research and discovered that it is. So there you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you have a question that you'd like me to answer, you know where to find me, 101mentoring.com. Guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.